Hello and welcome to my first Multimedia 1 tutorial. Alright, so in this tutorial we're going to be doing basically some Photoshop work, just some simple basic stuff. I'm actually using a tablet right now on my computer. My mouse is, right next to it, but I'd rather use the tablet because of my artistic ability. But anyways, this is going to be basic, stuff you can do in Photoshop and everything like that and how to do it. So let's start off with making a new document. Don't want it that big because that's a huge file because I was working on other stuff. So let's do 500. On normal computers, just like it normally says 72, which is fine. I personally like doing 200 because I like better resolution photos, but it's all the same. So basically, Photoshop is, here's your canvas. You got your little rulers where you can put guidelines up for where stuff should go, how stuff should be, how big it should be, and you can auto size stuff. For example, okay, so I want the margins to be right there, that kind of thing. But basically, over here you got your move tool, which is your basic pointer, your rectangle mark tool, which is basically just like a selector, oh, I select that exact box kind of thing. You got your lasso tool, which is the same thing, except you can, make your own shapes and stuff like that. Ooh. Here you have your, show up. Quick selection tool and magic wand tool. The quick selection tool is basically, so let's say if I drew, sorry, I was using a different brush. If I were to, okay. So if I were to draw a little face, little guy, give him a head, everything like that, and I wanted to quickly select his eye, or just a part. This is basically as you move, it just grabs more, and it works for some things, but this is just grabbing the out. It's good for grabbing lines if you have stuff like this drawn. Now the magic selection tool is, it'll select whatever, like your paint bucket and paint, whatever it's connected to, it will select just that. So those are those two little tools. Next we have the crop tool. So if I want, I just want the face real up close and personal. So enter. It does that, which we don't want because we want a bigger canvas, but that's how you do it. The eyedropper is just for getting color. Shows up in the bottom right as you're doing the color. Spot healing brush tool, patch tool, those are a little more advanced. I don't use them like almost ever, but brush tools, your brush for drawing, let's give him some hair. Little nice hair. Yeah, alright, so that should be good. So, give him some hair and stuff like that. And then you got underneath that, with the little arrows mean drop down, so you can have like extra stuff. You got your pencil tool, which is just a one frame little one frame pencil. So we'll give him a little beard with the pencil. We got the stamp, which stamps different stuff. You can choose a pattern, you can choose, current level, you can choose all kinds of stuff. But that also is patterns. That's a clone stamp. Here's a pattern stamp. So you can, that's, patterns, stuff like that. As you're drawing, it'll like draw on a pattern. Right now we got some like bubble pattern going, which you can just set it up here, all the different stuff, have some cool rainbow effect or whatever. Anyways, now we got the history brush tool, and basically it gets rid of whatever you did. Don't really need that. And your basic erasers, background eraser tool, that kind of thing. Paint bucket, gradient. Now gradient is, actually, I'm gonna put on a different layer. I'll explain later. But you got basic layers where you can change, go soft shading and stuff like that. Easy. You can have little boom, boom. The different kinds. Here's a little bar. Here's the center. I don't really want that, so I'll just delete it. Smudging is for smudging stuff. Oh, smudging stuff out. Blending, everything like that. Got dodge, burn, sponge. You know, burn is. I got nothing to work with, so. Then you got your mask tool, or pen tool it's called in this, sorry, in other Adobe products it's a mask tool, but anchoring points, stuff like that. Text, this guy is awesome. You can just type whatever text you in, just like a little text editor. You can also, move it around with the moving tool. You can, transform it to different sizes, different colored text and stuff like that, but we'll just stick it for this guy's awesome. You got your path selection, your direct selection. You won't be using that in this class, so no problem. We have rectangle tool, which literally will make a rectangle, whatever shape or size that you want. That you just select it. Shows up in the layers. You got the hand tool, the rotate view tool. That's for like 3D stuff. Hourglass for zooming in, but you can also just do Control minus, just like normal web pages. Then down here we have your color selectors. Our color selectors down here in the bottom left are where you can choose your color, drag it up and down, that kind of thing. Select exactly what it is or type in whatever colors it has to be. And then once you select it, we'll do pink. It'll show up in here, and whatever is in the left one is your left click brush. So if you left click, you go like this. If you right click and draw, it'll be, well, okay, I'm using tablets, so here I'll switch to my mouse. So if you left click, it'll go to pink. If you're, of course, I don't have it set up like that, so I can't show you it, but like in Paint, left click, right click will do the other color. And or it's just good for when you want to swap colors and stuff like that. So, if you're quickly doing detail with pink, is, in his ear, and then go, oh man, I gotta add that right in there. Okay. So, and then everything else you don't really gotta worry about. It's just for different, full screen, whatever mode and stuff like that. Alright, so. Next we got layers on the right. So layers are basically like invisible sheets of paper that go over whatever you're drawing. So this being the bottom layer, if we delete that, it goes checkerboard, which means there's nothing there. It's transparent. If you see these gray checkerboards, it means transparent. So if we select this layer, we're only selecting the text. If we select this, the face layer, you can only, only move that. Same thing goes for the shapes. Move that back so we can see our nice face. And then for this one is this little ear thing. Okay, so let's make a new one and draw something so that we can actually, add effects and stuff. So, oh, this button right down here sets it back to black and white, like the starting. So what should we draw? I want a little bit bigger. 5 pixels. That's good. Okay. So I'm just going to draw SpongeBob, a really, really badly done SpongeBob. Cheeks, teeth, tongue, other cheek. Now, just like in most things, Control Z does, backspace, and if you do Control Alt Z, it will keep going back, because Control Z only does the last thing that you did. But, okay, so let's just finish this real quick so we can keep going. Sponge holes and such. Now, I'm going to leave this little space uncovered just to show you about coloring. And really, really bad SpongeBob. Like, really bad. But he'll be good for our little, little tutorial here for simple coloring. I really don't care that I messed up his arm really bad. Okay, whatever. Give him a couple more holes, and not to forget his Krusty Krab hat. Wait, no, I'm not gonna color that in. And his legs. I'm just gonna make his legs like really long. Alright, anyways. Okay, so there we go. So let's say we drew something, or we did something, or whatever. So now for coloring, you'd go over here, and of course you'd use the paint bucket, which you could just click G, or it goes to G. Whenever you click G, whatever's here, it'll select it. So we have a paint bucket, and of course we're going to go to the bottom left, and we're going to use yellow for SpongeBob. So, bam. His legs are yellow. Arms are yellow. Oh, what just happened? Look at that. So, basically, like in paint as usual, if there's a spacing, then it will go through. So what you do is you just go back to the brush, not selecting yellow, but selecting black. You know, just fill up the hole. So over here it'll be, gotta change that. If we have any other places, like, oh, right there, gotta fix them up. Alright, so then you just go back to your little paint bucket. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Alright. So, the brown-ish, or, brownish color. I mean, it doesn't really matter, it's just spongy. I think his tie is red. So, just keep dumping on photos and colors and such. I'll leave the holes white just for, other purposes. Oh, his tongue. Okay. Zoom out, and last but not least, his hat right at the bottom. Bam. And we are good. So basically, there's coloring and basic, drawing and such for whatever the tools are in Photoshop. You got the rulers and everything. File, new, select the size you want, everything like that. And that's basically it for this little basic tutorial, just explaining what the little tools are for the simple stuff for a beginner. I'll be making more tutorials later on, going more advanced, using different brushes, how to get new brushes and stuff like that, filters, etc. I don't know how far I'll go if I'm just doing this, but basically there you are, and thanks for watching. I'll get back to you guys soon with a new video, and please comment, like, subscribe, and everything else. Thanks.